Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Libor. I work as a mentor for student startups at JIC. And let's start this panel discussion with introducing these 4 amazing young entrepreneurs. Okay, so from the left, it is Megi Mejdrechová, co-founder and CTO Robotwin. Then Tadeáš Kula, founder Reknihy. Moritz Lechner, founder and CEO New Fluence. And Jan Sláma, co-founder and CEO of FaceUp. Please give them a round of applause. Cool. So now, for the very beginning, I'd like each of you to briefly tell us what is your startup about. Okay, and if you want, you can add some cool numbers, just if you want. So Megi.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. So I come from startup Robotwin, and as the name suggests, we are active in robotization of industry and specifically manufacturing. So what we do is we help people to automate with ease without the need of knowing how to program and write robot programs. And we do it just by letting the people show the movements they want the robots to do. And we, based on the showcase, we give them the robot programs to start the automated production. Fun numbers. There is about 500,000 robotic installations every year. And most of them are installed and programmed by people who hold some kind of joystick and click buttons left and right and left and right. So it's like sad and fun at the same time that they still do it this way.
Cool, thank you.
Am I heard? Yeah? Yeah, okay, good. I didn't prepare a pitch, but yeah, if you buy a second-hand book in Czech Republic, there is a high chance you either do it with our competitor or with us. So we sell books, which is second-hand. We sell about 200,000 to 300,000 books per year, and we make about €2 million turnover. And that's the simple businessman selling used books and helping the ecology via the great word, what's it? The circular economy.
Cool, Moritz.
Hi, I'm Moritz. Thank you very much for having me. I'm founder and CEO of Newfluence, and we automate the way how brands work with influencers. So everything in regards to micro-influencer marketing in mostly DACH region, but we also started in Netherlands, Spain, France, and UK. And yeah, we have a team of around 50 people now, at around 5 million ARR, and managing 5,000 influencer corporations each month. That's it in terms of numbers.
Cool, thank you. And Hansa?
Hi everyone, I'm Jan and I'm founder of FaceUp. FaceUp firstly started as a non-profit organization fighting against bullying in schools in Czech Republic by the app which kids could use to report bullying anonymously and teachers could solve it easily. We started with that, implemented this non-profit version of FaceUp to 2,000 schools across the whole country. And 5 years ago, we find out that schools are not the only environment where can be problems about which is hard to talk about face-to-face. So we pivoted into a commercial version of FaceUp and started selling similar product for companies to who we are helping with their workplace compliance and risk management. Currently, we are used by 1,700 enterprise customers in 71 countries, and our ARR is 3 million.
Cool, thank you very much for this introduction. By the way, all of our speakers are featured in Forbes 30 Under 30, a list celebrating the most successful young innovators of their generation. And you can ask them a question. Not just me, but if you will scan the QR code, which you will see on the screen, then you can ask them a question through the mobile app Event. So just scan the QR code and type in your question. We will use those questions in the second part of our panel discussion. Okay, in the first part of our panel discussion, we will use the questions I have prepared. And I would love to start with your childhood. Okay, so my first question is, what do you think made you different from other children when you were in school? Maybe because it led you to start your own business so early, so as a teenagers or very young. So what do you think made you different while you were on the school? Megi, can you start?
Yes. So I was thinking about like looking back, what was so different. Maybe one thing. So I work in like tech domain and tech business, and I have a older brother. So he had all the cool tech toys at home, like the Lego spaceships and stuff. And I always wanted to play with that because it was so cool. And I never could because he was older brother, right? So maybe this desire to like get into something cool, being glad to do something like fun, which was not meant for me. Maybe it's something what stayed with me, and then like also helped me to make the decision to go study technology, which maybe not many girls do. And maybe also then help me to actually make the step and be like, yeah, okay, so let's have a startup that does something technical, even though some other people do not do. So maybe this like, like the desire to get something what was not really meant for me, which I saw as like super exciting and fun.
Okay, so having an older brother can be the way how to start a business. Thank you. Okay.
Easy, right?
Yeah, Tadeáš.
So at my 13 years old, I had the opportunity to start to study in American school, and that really like pushed me and changed my worldview of what I can actually accomplish. And like in a year or 2 years after, I started just hustling everything I could. I started with Minecraft servers, and then it went to like making websites, and then I started some startups, and then Rekinhi. So really, American mindset pushed me that everything is possible. Don't be shy. You are good enough. That's what I think is like lacking for. That's what I was lacking of in the Czech schooling system. So I think this really changed the path that I took. Yeah.
So the game changer for you was studying in the foreign country, in US?
Abroad, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And it was in India, so I think that was also like quite challenging itself.
Okay, thank you. Moritz, what about you?
I think for me, my interest in everything in regards to just economy and finance and stuff like that. So since I could basically think, since I was like 6 years old, I loved everything in regards to that. I loved playing Monopoly. My parents always had to play with me like 8 hours straight until I won, and we couldn't stop until I won. So I think that's how it started. And then actually we had the opportunity back in school with like, I was 12 back then, and we had the opportunity to do some kind of like a small internship. It was like to spend a week at a company of your choice, basically. Like most of the people went to their parents' company or like their uncle or whatever. And I loved to watch the Austrian version of Shark Tank back then. And actually, I just cold emailed one of the investors in the jury there. I think is Shark Tank a thing in the Czech Republic as well?
Yeah, we have it.
And I actually just ended up cold emailing one of them, a partner at a big VC firm in Austria, and that's how I came to spend a week at a VC with 12. And I think that's basically what got me started back then. And I ended up spending, from that point on, I ended up spending all of my summers at different startups. And then actually with like 13, 14, I had my first idea and went for it.
Cool. So economic games and proactivity, that's it for you. Cool. Thank you very much. Honza.
I think that for me, the support of my parents was crucial. Maybe three main things. First was that my dad is an entrepreneur, but he was businessman and CEO of the company. So when I was a kid, I was just seeing him as he is working, and trying to do what everyone else thought that is impossible. So this was really inspiring me. Second thing was that till the from the childhood, my parents were telling me that everything is possible, and I have basically never heard no to anything of course, sometimes I heard no, but only to the bad things. But when I wanted to change the hobby, it wasn't a problem. When I wanted to win a fishing competition, we wake up at 1 a.m. just to be on the best place where we can catch the biggest fishes. Just when I wanted to start something new, when I wanted to visit some university, when I wanted basically whatever I wanted, and my parents thought that this can help me in my future career, it was possible, and I was supported by them. And also really crucial was that I was supported in reaching out to basically anyone. For example, when we were going to holidays and I was thinking like what we will be doing in this village, they told me, okay, let's write an email to the major of the city, starosta, major of the city, and ask him what is it possible to do in his village. And when I wanted to have a meeting with CEO of Microsoft, they told me, okay, so just write him email or catch with him or write him on LinkedIn or something like that. So I think that this mindset that everything is possible was really important for me. And also, parents weren't the only motivation, of course, but being a bit weird kids was also pretty strong for me because I didn't have much friends. I had totally different hobbies than most of our classmates. I loved biology, archaeology, paleontology, basically odology, which you can mention, which isn't the topic about which your classmates are able to talk with you. So I decided that my personality won't be being part of the class, but being as much weird as possible. And when I was 12 and I found out that there is something like entrepreneurship and asked my classmates if they are entrepreneurs, they told me they are not. So I thought, okay, maybe this can be the way for me.
Cool, thank you very much. By the way, listening about your supporting parents, I was thinking about my game changer because I started my first company also when I was 17. And I remember that my parents, they allowed me to play computer games when I was 11 just for 1 hour per day. And if I wanted to be more on my computer, which I wanted so much, I had to do something useful on the computer. And that is why I started to learn when I was 11 how to be a developer and how to build my own websites. Then it changed to online business. And back then, when I was a child, I was like, my friends, they can play how much they want. Why can I only for 1 hour? I hate it. But for now, I'm really grateful to my parents, as you are probably, because thanks that, I started my company and it gave me a freedom and so on.
Yeah, for example, I couldn't play PC games.
You couldn't play at all?
No, at all.
Okay, they were stricted than mine.
Yeah, and they were supporting in everything what can be helpful for the rest of the world or something like that. So good learning, doing good stuff, but PC games wasn't the thing which they supported me in.
Okay, and do you play computer games now?
No.
No? Didn't you miss it?
I never played any PC game.
Okay, cool. So let's move on. Now I would love to hear your stories about how starting a business so young was an advantage for you. So feel free, if you have a story, feel free to say.
I mean, I think in general speaking, the big advantage you have is you just are able to take more risk, because at the end of the day, like usually you can always come home and you got a roof where you can sleep and you got some food on the table. So like the risk is just not the same than when you are older, maybe have a family to feed, So I think like for me, starting so young, and I started my first company with 14 out of school. And basically, I never had anything to lose. I started with 100 euros of pocket money, basically, that I have saved up. And that was like the main thing I had to lose, and maybe some time. But apart from that, it was just, hey, let's just try something, learn something. And like also speaking of the times today, you can pretty much learn most of the things just by being ambitious and just by like, yeah, just like using what you can get out of the internet. Now with AI, it's even easier to learn. So I think that was quite the thing for me. And I think, yeah, basically it's just go for it because you got nothing to lose.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was much about the advantage and courage, which is this conference about. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. What Moritz said is super important. The thing that you are not risking basically anything. And for me, there are two more things. First is that you can you have a free employees, your friends and classmates. Currently, my employees want me to pay them. My employees, when I was 14, didn't know that I should be paying them. So this is a huge advantage. Second is that everyone will help you if you reach out. Because when you are 13, 14, something like that, and you really write the email to the CEO of Microsoft or anyone else, they will answer because it's just so interesting for them that we are so young and trying to do something interesting. They just want to talk with you. They want to support you. All of them say that they see themselves in you. So they want to support you as much as possible. So I think that when you are a kid, like all the doors are open for you.
Yeah, exactly. I will put one more experience from my perspective. As you said, also the public relations like Forbes, TechCrunch, and many others, they much more likely will write an article about 16 years old young entrepreneur who started a startup or whatever, or 19 years old, than 52 years old man started a company. So it's again little advantage.
I can 100% agree there. I mean, from my own experience, to be honest, I got my first investors just because of my age, if I'm being honest, because it was just like, it was interesting for them because the story was like a year later after like creating a first idea and all of that, I had the possibility to go on Shark Tank myself with like 15, and it was just about the story, right? It was just about, okay, youngest contestant ever, and it's like, it's just a good media PR story. But actually, like, I ended up getting 170,000 euros as a 15-year-old, and that's like, I mean, for a 15-year-old, that's crazy money. I had like close to zero revenue, right? So it's mostly just because people were like, okay, I want to support him, and I think it's cool if young people try out creating their own stuff and try out doing things. And so I 100% agree. You can just use it to your advantage. And I mean, people will keep telling you, yeah, it's a disadvantage. You have zero experience. You're lacking of money. You're lacking of this and that. But at the end of the day, I think you can use every chance you get to your advantage.
If I may, I would just add, it also has a downside, right? So like, for me specifically, like the deadly combination of like sex and age is something what is like very often kind of a showstopper in some deals, because the industry where we work and sell is like very conservative. It's like the manufacturing industry. So it's not always like the wild card to be young. But I think it goes in extremes. So like some people can project something super great into you, and some people can project something really bad in you, because basically they have little experience with like young people doing that. So like it can be really good or really like not good. So that one thing. What I think helped us, like we were kind of same age, or the three co-founders of Robotwin when we have started, was like the protective naivety we had. So like knowing everything, what it takes, we maybe would be more scared, and like we wouldn't go like that brave into what we are doing. And then like, since we didn't know all of that, we were like, okay, let's go step by step. Okay, there is a problem. Never mind. Let's go over that. And if someone would like present us everything, or our experience would be telling us like what everything can take, maybe we would like chicken out. So that might be also an aspect.
Yeah. So this naivety or idealism can be also advantage. Thank you. Tadeáš, what is your...
I want to build on your point, like naivety is the best thing. Like My God! So you have a rooftop over your head, and you have the naivety, and like the world is your oyster. So I mean, like, I think I took your playing games hours because I played for like 16 hours per day. I was such a big gamer, and I think just mainly the school wasn't enough for me. It wasn't like exciting. And so the games like actually introduced me to strategies, to economics, to English. That's I think where I learned English, to be honest. And it opened my eyes, like, and everything is possible. And then like if you are playing games in multiplayer, you have to build your teams, right? And then like it kind of transforms, like, so how is it different of like playing games? I know you have some tokens, now you have cash, but like it's not that different, like to lead a team in when playing games and then like in the firm. So yeah, but I think the naivety is the best thing. Like yeah, you don't know what shits is going to happen, and like you don't want to know, and you have to like jump straight into it.
Yeah, cool. I totally agree with you, and I do really love your mindset that everything is possible. Yeah, but because I want the whole truth, not just the positive side, I'd like to ask you, what do you see as the biggest disadvantage of starting business so young?
I mean, I guess it's hard being taken full. You know, it's the same as you said. I mean, you got zero experience. You are younger than everybody else in the room usually, and I mean that's hard, and that's not only an advantage, but I think for me personally, how I overcame that over the years is just by proving people wrong. And I think at the end of the day, it's just you got to deliver. And I think mostly when it's really about money and when you are trying to get some big corporate deals and stuff like that, then at the end of the day, at some level, also if you're also, and I would say also in the tech space, I mean, there are some maybe AI, everybody is young, and then maybe in other spaces it's not so usual than in manufacturing, for example, where like the average age is different. But I would say you can always prove yourself by just delivering.
Yeah, I think that the biggest problem is that nobody believes in you. When I started business when I was 12, but I launched my first startup when I was 14. And after that, I was just building and building and building. So, for example, I pretty soon decided that school is nothing for me, and I didn't finish high school. And when I decided to quit the high school, the reactions weren't so positive around me, and I was still listening. That like people were telling me that they are looking forward to see me in a McDonald's. So the thing that nobody really believes that you can do what you want to do is. Probably this can happen to like every time where you are launching your business or you are trying to be entrepreneur. But when you are super young, it's much worse than anywhere after that. Second thing is that you don't have a network. Of course, you have these like friends who will work for you for free, but they are not the experts in everything, in anything, maybe in Minecraft or something like that. So this is a problem that because when you are now building, I'm now building FaceUp, I'm really trying to hire the best talent, and I'm not hiring them through startup jobs or something like that, but through my network. But when I was 14, I didn't know anyone. So this can be a pretty huge challenge, and also the thing that you just don't know anything, and you don't know the know-how. You don't have any know-how. You don't have the experience, and the like. Average startup founder is somewhere between 20 and 30 years old, but average successful founder start their business when they are 40 plus. Because they already have this experience from different startups which they found or in which they were working, but I was never employed, for example, so I wasn't working anywhere else, only in my own projects. So don't having this know-how can be also pretty challenging.
Tadeáš, do you have some disadvantage about being so young entrepreneur?
I mean, it takes a toll on you, right? So, so if you start at this young age, and you are working 16 hours per day, then you don't know nothing else to do. And also, if you are working 16 hours per day, which you kind of have to if you have a startup and you want to survive the first 2 years, 9 from out of the 10 don't survive. It's also that like you don't have any time to have friends. You don't have time to find a girlfriend. Like, so I think this is the downside. Like you write off a kind of a page that you could write when you are young. You could have make some friends, and you just don't have time for it. And so like I run the startup for 6 years now, and like I don't know anything else than to work 16 hours a day. And it's very hard to switch, because if you are young, you can like adjust, right? And you are getting older, and like, but this is the only thing I know, right? So I think I will just have to build new startups till I die. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I understand. I understand you. And as you said, the building a startup, it's a very intense, often much more than a full-time job. So how do you take care of your mental health while building your startup?
Anyone wants to start? Moritz again?
Go ahead.
I think that in the first years, I didn't care much about my mental health, just because the business and building startup is like was and still is like a drug for me. So I was just really focused on that. I didn't care about anything else. But true is that after a few years, I found out that my psychological, but also the physiology and also the psychology health is not so good as I can imagine. So during last 2 years, I think that this became not a topic for me, but bigger topic than more than zero topic. I care a bit about it now. So I started with sport, for example. Sometimes I will go to pub with my friends, for example. So I already have a friend.
That's the sport.
Cool,
Yeah,
good
so,
for you.
Sometimes I go to therapy just to talk about everything. So I think that I can be the right inspiration for the ones who want to have a work-life balance and great mental health. But I'm trying my best.
Thank you for being honest. So making friends and gym and pub and maybe therapy. Okay.
Yeah, and I have girlfriend, so she's also a huge support.
Cool. Good for you again.
Yeah. I hope that she won't see the recording, because I really forgot about my girlfriend. We are together like 5 years, so this is a bit embarrassing.
Oh, I also promised my girlfriend I will mention her that I have a girlfriend.
So now is the
off
time.
topic. I'm sorry.
So Tadeáš, how do you take care?
Yeah, so the saying is like you can have thousands of problems, right? When you are running startup, you will have them. But like if you have bad health, you have just one issue. So yeah, I'm focusing on the longevity part. Like for the past 3 years, I'm just pumping myself with Brian Johnson and stuff, going to gyms also, trying to do sauna like almost every day. And it's like my sanctuary. Like for an hour, I'm just alone with my thoughts, without a phone, without everything. So this is the biggest health, the biggest support of my health. I think that really helps to find time for yourself somehow, anyhow, if it's a sport, anything.
Yeah, cool. It's very common for both of us, because I also love the sport, some activities like volleyball or gym and so on, and also passive activities like sauna, like Maximus in Brno. It's awesome place. Yeah, I love it. So active and also passive. Thank you. Megi.
Yeah, this is a very not process topic for me, But like one thing maybe that like I've learned, or like I was kind of forced to learn, like you are lacking time, right? So you have to prioritize what you do in the rest of the time when you are not working. And like there might be like classical things that are even like expected from you, but maybe they don't really do you good. So like I kind of learned to say like, no, sorry, like I'm not gonna do this because yeah, but it doesn't help me much. So like comparing my free time to like other people my age around myself, like I may do like different stuff. Like I don't do every weekend to visit like every member of the family, even though I like my family. Like it's just about the prioritization. And I think I'm not saying I'm doing it very well, but at least this like understanding that like my free time is very precious, and I should be the master of my free time and like deciding what I'm doing, what I don't do. So that's already like I think that's a good start at least for me. And yeah, I'm not really a pro in these like tactics, so maybe I can learn a bit from you then. Thanks.
Yeah. Also, awesome. I hear that it's very important to be able to say no for something you don't want in your life. Thank you for this comment. And Moritz, what about you?
I guess for me also, shout out to my girlfriend. And apart from that, I guess, yeah, it's also for me a lot of friends, sports. And I think, I mean, I think it's hard to be an entrepreneur if you don't love what you do, right? And I guess that goes for all of us. So, I mean, work doesn't feel like work to me, at least most of times, or of course it's not always fun, but at least most of the time I love what I do. So it just doesn't feel like work, and I think that helps a lot. And then I also I have still a lot of friends from like first grade of primary school, and that helps a lot. That I've got like pretty much like two different kinds of friends, I would say. One is like the business friends circle, and that's great to have and network, as you said. But then on the other hand, I still have like my friends from when I was like 6 years old, and that's great to just have some people to sometimes just spend a few hours don't thinking about anything, you know. And it's like yeah, just great to sometimes completely turn off everything, and just like it doesn't have to be every week, and it's not possible, at least for me, but then to sometimes have a few hours, if it's one a month, that's enough for me personally. But if it's once a month and I got some time with my friends to just and enjoy and spend some time together, that's great, and that helps a lot.
Can I add one thing?
Yeah, sure.
What helped me really was stop thinking that I have to have a work-life balance, but start more thinking about like work-life harmony. Because lots of people were pushing me to have some work time and life time, and it just really didn't make sense for me because my work is my life. But on the other hand, I really understand that I can't just be only focused on or only sitting next to my computer. So trying to combine life with work in one harmony is the way which is working for me. Like for few examples, my friends typically have their own startups, so I go to the pub with them, but we are discussing our business problems. So it's combination of business and the free time. Also, when I go running, I'm listening some business podcasts about some topics which I have to solve in my work. When I'm traveling somewhere where we have a business partner, and on the other hand, there is a beach, so I can relax there. So this like combining work and life in one harmony is the way how I hope that I can continue pretty long and won't die in a few years.
Yeah. Thank you very much for this inspiration, how to combine your life and the work. So let's open it up for the audience. So I will start with the most upvoted question as the first. So what mindset differences you think distinguish the new generation of founders from previous ones? So feel free to answer.
I think that the new generation of the founders just don't see the borders between countries, which is now we have, as I said, we have 1,700 enterprise customers in 71 countries. We just don't care about the country where the customer is from. And I really don't find it like something interesting. It's supernatural for me to sell to Africa, Latin America, and anywhere else around the world. So maybe this is one of the differences.
Also, I think people are like, I have the feeling that people are beginning to start thinking bigger. And I think that's like great also to think. I mean, one thing is to think more internationally, but also to see what's possible no matter of the age, you know. And if you just look at now, I mean, now everything is about AI. And if you look at the companies being created, it's sometimes like 22-year-olds who are now founding decacorns, who are now and then becoming billionaires after like 2 years, you know. And that's like, yeah, that's just stories you can now read. If you look up at the newest like self-made billionaires list, it's all AI people, and they are like 22, 21, 23, and have been doing the business for a few years. And I think that's changing, and I think that like motivates a lot of new young people, and that motivates the new generation to just think extremely big and just don't care about whatever anybody says, because they see it is possible.
Yeah, so I hear a global thinking and everything is possible mindset. Cool.
Yeah, I just think with the current situation for the young people, it's just getting harder for them to live this life. They cannot have a normal housing and stuff. So I think new founders are going all in because they have nothing to lose. Honestly, like everybody's trading crypto, everybody's in the stocks. It's just another way to try to live a nice life. And I think this is a possible way. It is just a very hard one. And yeah, one thing I forgot. Anyway, yeah, that is my point. I think we have nothing to lose.
Cool.
Maybe I would add one thing. I don't know many examples from like the previous generation founders, maybe in Czech Republic, but like what I see a lot now is like young people are trying to make something impactful, and this is their way how to have the impact. So for my parents to have an impact was like going the career ladder from like first year after university and staying 20 years in the same company and then have impact on like leadership in the company. But like for us, it's like you see a problem in the world, you want to challenge it, you want to solve it. So let's go your way and like build your own solution for that. And that's something what was simply not possible for generation of my parents. So maybe that's now the difference, that like we have like different levers and different means how to make an impact in today's world, and the entrepreneurship is one of them.
Yeah, that's a great point of view. Thank you for that. I totally agree. I'm meeting a lot of students every week, and they literally want to make the world a better place. They want to create something what is useful for other people. So thank you for this point. Okay, let's go to another question. What single early decision gave you the greatest leverage to pursue global ambition before turning 30? You have time to read it again if you want, and feel free to answer.
I think for me personally, the number one decision was just to start. I think like the number one step is always just trying and just do it, you know, just not to think about too much what could happen and what could go wrong, and thinking about failing, but just think about, hey, what's the good side? And even if it doesn't work out, you should basically see it as a positive. And I think that is something that has always helped me throughout the whole way. And basically until now, I'm always like, all right, fuck it, let's just try it.
Yeah.
Maybe I will build on what Honza said with the like everyone is approachable. It's just so easy to write to someone and they will probably reply to you, or they will acknowledge you. It's just so easy. I just honestly think that not a lot of people are doing that, and that gave me a lot of the leverage, just knowing that like all the doors are open, and most doors that you take are the doors that you can also like walk off, not the one that's like shut off like behind you and like you cannot go back. So I think that, and also just to add, it's on my mind, like this is like the biggest shift we have been in, and I think that also the economy, like 50% of all the businesses in USA are owned by baby boomers, and like they don't want to run their businesses anymore. Like this is gonna be a huge shift. Like you can also look at Japan, like 99% of SMEs just don't have anyone to like take over the businesses. So I think this with combination with AI and like how easy it is to start something and just to try, thanks to AI and also other tools. It just I just want to see more people trying that and taking over and changing the environment with technology, with AI, with everything.
Yeah, exactly. As you said on the beginning of your answer, if you cold emailed someone who is very successful, in the worst scenario, he doesn't reply. But maybe he will, and he gives you some opportunity. So this proactivity is, I think, something what can really gives you the great advantage. Cool. Okay, let's go for another question. So what mindset differences you think distinguish the new...
It's the same.
No, that's the same. Okay, cool. So I will go for the first one. Which roles or skills were hardest to recruit locally, and what creative solutions did you use to close those gaps? So how creatively did you hire someone, if I understand it well?
In Czech Republic, we don't know how to do sales, so probably this is the biggest the skills which is the hardest to recruit. I see it not only in FaceUp, but I'm also an angel investor in 13 different startups, and all of them are struggling with hiring really good salespeople or sales leaders. So this is something really hard to find in the Czech Republic. I think that the only way which works for me is trying to hire people from the typically Czech companies who already have teams in, for example, US. So these US colleagues learn these Czech colleagues how to do sales. So this is working, but we don't have here like real sales know-how, I think.
Yeah, I remember, by the way, for one short story of one very clever girl, and she wanted to work in Google. But in Google, there are so many applies for jobs. So she easily started a very simple website. I would love to work in Google.com. And she made only one one business card, thank you, with this domain. And she gave it to someone in Google. And, you know, let's imagine that you work as an HR manager in Google and you will find this business card. You have to ask this girl for a meeting. So I think that's pretty clever and creative solution.
And maybe one more thing, because the way how I answered is that how I'm trying to get these skills in my team. But for example, I found out that a good way how to get these like sales how to get these skills like to me is to have few shots of alcohol. And it's because, you know, now I'm not selling FaceUp to customers. We already have sales team which was built on the experience of people from product board who has these sales colleagues in US who teach them how to do that. But when I'm talking with investors, I found out that just having few shots before the call is really working, because then you are talking pretty similar way as US founders are, where they are not drunk. And the most important experience for me was when I forgot that I have investor call like 2 years ago, and I went to the pub with Oliver Dlouhý from Kiwi, and we just got like so many. If you know Oliver, you know that there was so many drinks. Then there was like 6 or 7 p.m. and I found that I have this US call, and Oliver, I don't wanted to go there, but Oliver told me that I have to, and that he will wait in the pub. And this was the most successful US investors call I have ever had. So this is maybe a tip.
It's a very creative one, right?
Yeah. It's like you cannot follow on this anyhow.
Don't do that at home.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the next question we have from our audience is what role plays personal development in the future business according to you? So how do you work on yourself?
I mean, I think personal development is important for everybody, and everybody should like take part of their time to just invest in themselves. And I mean, as a founder, like, yeah, maybe I've not always been doing that since the start, but I think after the first couple of years, I've really started to implement to just blocking time in my calendar to just say, okay, I need to spend some time learning new skills, because it does make sense, and it makes sense to invest some money there, and also to just, I mean, for me personally, for example, during the past few years, I've spent a lot of times just heads down hustling basically, and not spend so much time traveling and seeing the world and talking to people. And that's, for example, for me personally, that's a thing that I've changed now during the past 2 years, to just go out more, try to travel more, try to go to the US, try to go to Silicon Valley and try to learn there. And for example, just last summer, spending a month in San Francisco is just such a game changer for me personally, at least. So personal development doesn't always have to be, you don't always have to buy some kind of like online course or go to some lessons or go to university or go to school. I think I've also never gone to university. And I think for me personally, it's just like traveling and talking to people. And yeah, for example, the US trip just now, that's such a development I've never had before.
Mm-hmm.
For me also traveling a lot. I just love that, and it just gives me time to actually read the stuff that I save, to listen to these podcasts that I saved. So yeah, this is great.
And sorry, you mean like business traveling or holiday traveling?
Well, work holiday, you know what I mean. Like 16 hours working, but like still, like you can sit on the beach. Yeah. But I wanted to add one thing. Go on.
I think the biggest business development for me is hiring people who are much more smarter and experienced than I. You can listen podcasts, you can go to conferences such as this one, but you really get the know-how from the people when you have one-to-ones every week. So this is my leadership team is the biggest self-development activity which I have. And angel investing. Also, this is really interesting because now, years ago, if you wanted to invest in some startup, you really needed millions and millions and millions. But now there is lots of syndicates where you can invest much lower amounts, and just analyzing the pitch decks, talking with founders of hundreds of different startups who give you a bit of know-how of totally different topics. It's also really good way how to learn.
And it helps you extremely building your network. I mean, I've been doing some investments as well, and it's just great because it doesn't matter how much you invest, no matter if it's like 10, 20K or 200K or 2 million, it's pretty much, the network is pretty much the same usually. So yeah, it's great. Quite nice to be a small investor at cap tables, to just be there and then sit on tables with great people and get to know them.
Okay, talking about investing, you Moritz, you already sold your company. You have successful exit. So my question just for you is how to find the right time when to sell the company?
I think hard question, because I think there's like no right timing in general. I mean, for me personally, it was just to be honest, we had good offers and we were quite profitable and we were growing strongly. And then there is just some point where you are like, okay, maybe it makes sense now to do it. And for in our case, for example, we pretty much our whole last year was full of an M&A process with M&A advisory, few months of due diligence from like PVC and the big guys. It was quite a lot of learnings for me personally as well. But I think going back to it, I mean, the money is one thing, but the second thing is just what you learn by doing it. And for us now, being part of a bigger private equity group, for example, it's a new experience for myself, and it also gives me the opportunity to know. I mean, I'm definitely gonna start the next startup as well. As you said, I think I can't do anything else until I die. So that's the plan for me as well. And I mean, it gives you the possibility to start something new at some point from scratch, and at the same time, just the learnings I had during this M&A process, and now with like working with big private equity funds and all of that is amazing. So yeah, I can recommend doing an exit.
Okay, so if I understand it well, if you feel that the exit will open the doors for you which you want to go in, then it's the right time, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, then it just depends on offers, right? I mean, there's just sometimes, if you look at 2021, for example, I mean, there were some times where you just got valuations that you will probably never get again, you know? So it was probably a good idea to sell at that time, you know? I mean, afterwards, you're always clever in the after thinking about it, you're always better off. But I mean, you always have to trust your gut feeling a bit. And if it feels right and you want to go for it and you're ready for the next step, then just go for it.
Cool. Okay, Tadeáš, you wanted to say something about personal development, right?
Okay, just to add up on the last question. So there was this saying, like, as a founder, you should spend 50% of the time hiring or raising the money, right? And like what I now see when I meet these CEOs who like have thousands of people employed, they are just not hiring at all. Like they are multiplying the work of the people with the AI like so extensively they just stop hiring at all. So that's where I as a founder I'm looking at it and I'm like seeing, okay, so the hiring maybe less percentage, and now like understanding the AI and like understanding how to actually enhance the people that are already working for me. So that is a big yes for me to self-develop in this regard.
Okay, then we have a beautiful question for young entrepreneurs. So what did startup life give you that academia never could?
May I start? So like my journey actually was like me dropping from PhD studies because I wanted to be like in the startup world, going from the university to another startup, like first to get like the experience as one of the employees and then starting my own one. And the motivation was like pretty clear. Like I wanted to have impact like immediate or like in a short time span. And academia was just like never able to give me that. So that was the reason why I left. And like I'm happy that I had a chance to try out these different environments, because now also like we are a deep tech startup, so like we still have connections to academia, and it helps me so much to like gain the trust from the people and understand how they work, what is their motivation and their objectives, and like helps us as a company to have like to be able to benefit from what researchers do. But definitely like this possibility to have an impact, immediate seed in the society is, I think, only possible through business, or like easiest possible through business, because if it's a product, it can reach people on the market. And if it's a product that solves someone's need, they will be like willing to buy it and pay for it, but they need to have it on the market. So that was like the biggest like change. And I think that everyone should think of that, because actually I'm like getting these questions like, why I didn't stay, I didn't finish my PhD and everything. And like some people from academia are kind of looking at us like jealous that like we have a business and they think that we earn a lot of money, which is like nonsense, right? Every entrepreneur knows, but like they don't because they never tried that. But I think that it's like really, they should sit and try to put these differences on the table and make their choice, because it's very different. Everything has something. And for me, it was pretty clear. Like academia was super interesting, but it was not giving me what the business is giving me.
Yeah, thank you very much for saying that, because I feel very proud that at JIC we are exactly supporting the researchers at universities and students to build something useful, to make a business from their research, because it makes a huge sense not to have this research just for papers or universities, but to make from their research something useful. So maybe as a business. Thank you for that.
I'm not saying it's for everyone, but like you should think of what you need. Like you want to have something impactful in 10 years or like maybe 100 years, then you go for basic research. But like you need to make this choice in your mind. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was so bored like at the school. I just couldn't continue. So university was a no-go for me. And I just see universities as just a big party place. So like, and I don't do that. So maybe I'm wrong. And maybe I will go to university in like 10 to 20 years, maybe, if it still exists. We will see. Yeah, but I just want to play the card with which I can change the world some way, somehow, just as soon as possible. So when you have the energy, right?
So they didn't have big challenges for you at universities that you found yours?
I never tried it, so I don't know. How was it? Yeah, so
yeah, cool.
I guess so.
Yeah, thank you. Moritz or Honza, do you want to answer?
Yeah, I can't answer. I didn't finish high school. I have only elementary education, so I can compare.
Cool. So you just left the school because you wanted to start your business and teach much more than you expect from university.
Yeah, it was just so much fun. Some people can thought that maybe I just got the idea to start FaceUp and then I immediately stopped the high school, but that's of course not true. I think that I stopped studying high school when I was 16, but I was doing business since the age of 12. So there was like 4 years of experiences and finding out that I really finding out what I love. And that school is not that. So it was like slowly, step by step, I found out that I don't want to go there anymore.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, for me, it was quite similar. I mean, I started when I was 14, the first business, and had the first employees and all of that. And I finished high schools because my parents told me, like, after you are 18, you can do whatever you want, but before that, you got to do your A-levels and that's it. So yeah, I did that. But then with 17, I left school and was finished, and never went back. Didn't go to university, so can't add anything else there. But I think in retrospect, I guess it was a good choice, and I had so many different learnings. But then also on the other hand, as you said, it's like I can't really tell. And I mean, I think there are some great universities out there, and I think it really depends on where you go and what you do out of your time at university or school. I mean, you can just spend your time partying, or you can really get to know cool people. And if you get the possibility to go to an Ivy League university, probably I would tell you to do it. Okay, thank you very much. I think our time is up. So we will close the session here. Okay, so thank you very much for your energy, for your mindset. Thank all of you that you have been here today with us, and enjoy the rest of the conference, and make sure you will be on the after party. And now please give a huge round of applause for our 4 amazing guests: Megi Mejdrechová, Tadeáš Kula, Moritz Lechner, and Jan Sláma. Thank you.